Welcome to the Javier Mendez podcast. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We're back. You're still in Vegas. How's the weather, Javier? Is it cold over there too?
Not so cold, but it's windy. Last few days have been very windy, so that kind of sucked. But it's not that bad, not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. I was expecting something different. I come home, it's freezing, like 22 degrees at night. And I'm like, damn, I just left the snow, but it's not much different. There's just no snow, but it's all good. So, how are things going with the camp? I guess weather's not bad, no distractions. The guys probably had a lot of good time to themselves to train. Everything
Uh,
consistent.
yeah, everything's consistent. Today was the last day of hard sparring. It was great sparring. Tahir, Umar, and Islam just are on fire right now. So whatever happens, on the 18th, we gave it our best, and I'm expecting 3 wins. But regardless, we're going to give it our best.
That's awesome. So, what would you say? I mean, I've been around them for a couple of camps to seeing them evolve. It's been years now since I've been in a camp and watched them. I can only imagine how much more are they since I last saw them. Like the levels, would you say?
They've always improved. Islam improved the least amount out of all of them, but he was already, come on, he's pound for pound number one. So how much more is he going to improve? He's not going to improve tremendous amount. He's going to improve a little bit, and he has. He's improved. He's improved a little bit in every area. Smarter. Better shape. Just everything about him is improved. So he's on point. Umar had to rise to the occasion. To fight for his first world title, and he's rose to the occasion. It was a short camp, because it was a short notice for both sides, for Marab and him, because there was no clear sign that the fight was going to happen. Then all of a sudden it happened. So we took the fight. Well, therefore Umar took the fight on 40-day notice, but he had to get himself in shape quick, and it was a grind to get there because obviously it's a short camp, and you gotta speed everything up, and but he did it fantastically, so he's ready to go.
What do you look for when someone's evolving to like they're reaching their peak? What does it tell us? Like I know bodybuilding, it's cutting, it's building the maximum and cutting and trying to hold the most of it. What is it with fighting? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's basically the sparring. It's the sparring, how well they do in sparring, how well they dictate, how well they control, how good they stick to the plan that's been implemented. Those are the things they're looking for. How great is their conditioning, are they getting caught with anything, all those kind of variables are into play. So it's all based on sparring. You can have the greatest cardio, you can have the greatest mitt work, you can have the greatest anything kind of work, but if it doesn't work in sparring, it's not going to work in the real fight as well as you'd like it to work. So it's all about sparring, all about sparring.
That's where you see the evolution. That's where you see if someone's tuned in.
Yes, that's the only way to really, truly, truly, truly project what your guy more than likely will do. It is truly the only real way. That other than the real fight itself, the next best thing is sparring. There's no other objective to getting you to. There isn't. I know a lot of people, they don't like sparring and they do very little sparring. Well, that's for them. Maybe they know something I don't know, but in my career, sparring is what got us where we need to be, and sparring is what will continue to get us where we need to be. Of course, you have to be safe with it. You can't necessarily just put whoever against whoever and let them beat the hell out of each other. No, you got to monitor. You got to control the sparring, but you still have to spar.
I guess that's why you have to be so selective about who's in camp. They have to understand the limits and the levels. Because I was listening to Islam do a podcast with Mighty Mouse, and he was talking about, oh, back in Dagestan, Habib's in the room and I'm there. The new guy's going to try me. He's trying to make a name. Look what I can do, Habib. And then I have to tell them, and this is Islam saying, I have to tell them I can hurt you too. You don't want me to. I don't want to do it, but I can hurt back. You don't want to go there. You might feel
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
come
yeah,
down.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those are all the things that happen. And anytime you got alpha males, there's going to be other alpha males trying you, and young bucks. We'll call them young bucks, right? That
Mm-hmm.
test the waters, and they're not ready for those waters, but they do test them. That's always going to be the case, though. Always going to be the case.
Now, it's true because there's guys that I see that look like absolutely nice guys, but they're danger in these. Someone's ego blinds them to the situation, and they jump in that sparring with a little bit too much gusto. So
Yeah.
I can see that. So what else has been going on? I see Habib's been skiing, which I really enjoyed watching those videos. And I know that we might not see any of these guys ski until their career, until they become coaches, because this was something I remember we invited Chuck Waddell to go skiing years ago. And he's like, no, got to protect my legs. And I thought it was funny at the time. But then again, he's a fighter. So he has to either beat them up in the trajectory of fighting, but don't mess with skiing because, yeah, you can break your neck too.
No, you can, because it's so much fun. I went skiing myself 2 times in my life. The very first time I went was when I was an amateur, and I went up to Lake Tahoe, and I went skiing, and I went up to the little mountain first, the beginner one level, and
Mm-hmm.
it seemed so easy. I go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I went to intermediate one, and when I got to the intermediate level, I looked down and I said, "Oh crap!" And I'm thinking, I can't do it from here. So I try to go down so I can ski from a lower point, and I just slid all the way down, all the way from the very top to the bottom. Because as I was trying to come down, I slid, and I slid all the way down. So, needless to say, I stuck back to the beginner level one. And the problem with skiing is it's so much fun. You want to do more tricks. You want to go faster. You want to do things, so it gets dangerous. And I bent I fell and I bent the ski post, the stick right in my face. I bent it right in my face. I fell right face first, and I bent it in half. So it's kind of like,
Wow.
yeah, it's not in half, but I bent it pretty good. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So in this particular time, one of our fighters, Habib, told them all, "Don't be doing this. Don't be doing this." But I guess they got him to go. The other fighters got him to go. That they weren't fighting, and this individual went, and he almost killed himself. I heard that. How killed himself? I don't know what that really means, but he could have injured himself. And I just looked at them like, you guys, you need to watch this. If you're fighting, you have a career, it's your responsibility to watch yourself. If your coach is not watching you, you need to watch yourself. In this case, Habib warned them, don't do this, and they did it anyways, and there's a result. So I don't think they will ever go try that again. The skiing is not for the active fighters, it's for the retired guys, or the guys that are definitely don't have a fight coming up, and they skied before and they're experts or good at it. Skiing is too much fun. It's too much fun, and you see it all the time with people skiing. They go off the path. They go through into the trees, and you don't know what's there. You don't know if a rock's there or what, and you don't know what you're gonna hit. But people do that all the time. So it's skiing is fun, but it can be very, very, very dangerous.
I grew up skiing and I skied competitively. I was really into it growing up. So I know when they say I don't want to mess around, I go, yeah, you could totally take yourself out. Like you can't just feel yourself skiing any more than you could feel yourself being like Laird Hamilton, who surfs those 100-foot waves. Go ahead and try. You get buried under that thing. That's 100 stories of water pressing you under the ocean for 5 minutes. Your lungs will pop. And the same with skiing. You go off an ice patch. There's some definite risks to those sports.
Oh,
I
there
mean,
is 100%. Too risky, too risky. Too risky.
it's pretty wild. So, are you catching up at all with Usman's camp from afar? Or touching
Yes, he's
base
been
with?
he's been sending the video. He's looking really good. He's the champ. And he knows what he needs to do. This will be his second defense, I believe, or third. I forgot how many defenses he's had already. But I think this is, let's see. I think, okay, Benson Henderson, right? No, this will be his fourth title defense. So because yeah, fourth title defense. Because he beat Patricky, then it was Benson, and then it was the other guy. What's his name? Shoot, I forgot the guy who fought. And then the last one was against Alex Shelby. So that's three defenses. So
Chablis
this will
was
be his fourth.
dangerous.
Sabli is the number, in my opinion, the third best fighter in the world. Period. Out of any division.
Brent
He's
Primus
the
was the other
beast.
guy. Brent
Brett
Primus.
Primus. Brett Primus. It was Brett Primus and then Shelby. Yeah. So this will be his fourth title defense.
The
And
Grand Prix just kind of throws you right into here's 4 title challenges.
yeah,
Go. No stopping, right?
yeah.
I mean, that's for a good payday, so that makes sense. So how does it feel approaching like 2 title fights at once, one on the up and one on the maintenance? One to keep it and one to get it. Have you ever been in this specific situation before with any of your other guys, or?
Never. No one ever in the UFC history has been up in a title defense and title, trying to gain the title in the same event. Never. It's never happened. This is the first time that one team. This is the first time. So I've been in a lot of first time situations with my guys, but this is the first time as a main event, co-main event, and for title shots. First time. Not main event, main event. I've been there before on that, but not on a title shots, both of them, never. And it's never been done by one team.
So a lot of people are wondering, how is Umar's preparation for stamina? Like, how's that gone for this camp? Basically, because they all look at Merab, sorry.
Cardio machine.
Yeah, he's a cardio machine. He likes to hop around.
It's good. It's been going good. He's ready to go 5 hard rounds. We don't need to go 10 rounds. We only need to go 5, and we're ready in all areas. So let's see what happens. But I'm expecting Young Eagle to become Eagle, and we discussed that Young Eagle is going to grow up, and Habib will be called Old Eagle. So Young Eagle will be Eagle once he wins the title. It's going to be now New Eagle. So we'll call him Eagle. It's just
Are you gonna roll out some Old Eagle?
Us.
Some Old Eagle t-shirts.
No,
I could see that. Well, you've got him. He's a cardio machine. He's got some pretty good wrestling against other people, but nobody's really presented a wrestling opposition like Umar can.
No. He's met the striking opposition, but he hasn't met somebody that can do it all. Umar
Right.
can do it all. So he's gonna face the stand up and the ground, and he's got a challenge too. So in his mind, he could very well come out and say, "Well, I'm going to show everybody I can stand with him," because he probably could stand with us. So he'll show that, but that's okay because no matter which way it goes, we're gonna take a piece of him, whether on the stand up or on the ground. We're gonna take a piece out of him, and it just depends on how much he gives us and how much we take from him. Let's see.
I felt like his last fight, he strategically kind of point fighted himself to a situation. That's what it felt like for me on the outside. That maybe not was his intention, but he kind of like got enough to keep it at a certain level and tried to evade. Sean was coming on at the end.
Yeah. Well, he fought brilliantly. He just shut Sean down. It wasn't until the last minute, when Sean hit him with the beautiful front kick up the middle that hurt him. But other than that, that was the only thing that was of any substance. Other than that, he was shut out. So you can't really say anything really because Marab actually pitched the perfect shutout. Almost perfect shutout. So I mean, that's it. So I mean, that's how great he is. So we're not facing somebody that hasn't steamrolled anybody. Steamrolled everybody from Peter Yan, you name it, Figueroa, everybody. He's done everybody. O'Malley, who hasn't he? The only thing I have to say is, he complains, about Umar getting the shot too early, et cetera, et cetera. He had to take so many fights. But like I've said in other interviews, hey, your buddy was the champion at that particular time when you should have fought for the title, and you didn't get to fight for the title because your buddy held that title. So that's one of the reasons why you didn't get the shot right away. Other times, it would have been probably yours way before that had you guys not been the champion, or if you guys agreed to fight each other, you would have got the title shot. Had you beat your partner, who knows? I don't know. The only that's a training room secret that those two guys have, and they're brothers, so they'll never share that. Then that's the way it should be. But the bottom line is, we're fighting a super super dangerous, great fighter and a champion, Marab, but we're ready. We're ready for whatever he has to offer. And we're prepared. And I'm sure they're prepared for what we have to offer also. So it's going to be a matter of what fighter can impose his will on the other. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, how much would you say Islam striking has evolved since his first fight with Armand? Like it's like 10 fights ago or more. I mean, it's been a long time.
He's improved tremendously since then. I don't know about the number gauge, et cetera, but he's improved tremendously. But so has Armin. Armin's improved tremendously too. But at the very same time too, this is a brand new fight. Two different warriors. One is defending his title. One is going for a legacy fight. As this will be the fourth title defense for Islam, which will break the record of three held by Habib. I think BJ and Frankie Edgar, and I might be missing one other person, but there's been three total title defenses between all these guys, and I think Islam will be the first one to break four. So we'll be able, if we win like we want to, we'll be successful in many different history making challenges on that day.
Yeah, and I'm not going to jump ahead and say, well, who's next after that and all that. I want to see this night. It's such a big night just to keep this in your head. There's so much symbolic meaning to the two fights never before. Then, how many times have you had to say this has never happened before, except with my guys? I mean,
Yeah,
you've had so many firsts, which is so great
yeah,
to be such a
yeah,
trailblazer in the sport.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really find it so impressive. And what do you think? Have you watched any tape on Armand? Have you looked at his stand up and seen him evolve over time? Because I've watched them both myself. I want to hear your take on that.
Honestly speaking, I haven't really got to watch as much on him, and from what I remember, and I watched little clips here and there. And the thing of it is, I'm not really looking to look at too much, because whatever he gives us, we can switch Islam to however we want him to fight, So, he's very flexible, got a beautiful axe kick, which, the axe kick is fantastic, but it's very dangerous to also throw against a guy that knows what he's doing, because you throw that axe kick before you can bring it down, you're on your butt, So that's a risky maneuver to do. So I know that for a fact. But other than that, being he's got great flexibility, but he's meeting a guy that is regarded as pound for pound the number one. And I watch him in sparring, and all his sparring sessions have been spectacular. So I don't see any reason why Islam is going to come and be spectacular in this fight, because he's been doing it in the gym. And every time we've had somebody come in the gym and look so damn good, they look that good in the sparring, as long as we keep their mental intact, and they go out and perform, they want to perform. So I see this with Islam. He wants to perform. His sparring has been spectacular, and I don't see any different in how his sparring is going to go. The way the actual fight's going to go. So his sparring has been fantastic. So the fight, in my opinion, is going to go fantastic as well for Umar and Tahir. Tahir's been looking fantastic, although Tahir's going to have a tough fight in his hands. But I think he can prevail. If he sticks to the plan, and he just he has to grind it out. It's going to have to be a grind out situation with Umar. We've yet to see if Marab is going to make us grind it out. If he does, we're going to grind it out. With Arman. Let's see what he gives us. But whatever he gives us, it change and capitalize on the mistakes he makes. That I can tell you.
Okay. You there? Oh, there you go. You're not freezing. You just froze for a second. So basically, I totally get what you're saying about both of these guys and how they stack up with each other. And I don't know. I see a calmness. I listen to what Islam has to say, and I listen to some podcasts. Want to stay up to date. And whenever you're like, let's go, let's podcast. I got to know my stuff. So I was listening to him, and he was talking about. It's like, well, now I know what to expect from him, and it kind of reminds me of he went to Australia, didn't expect that horrible cutting, and then when he get the rematch, he ran right through the guy. He Volkanovski, he ran right through him when everything was like proper hydration, all that. And now he knows more about Armand, but he didn't know he was such a grappler, that he was in for such a level grappler. And that match was all about the scramble and the cut. But now that you expect it, I think he can approach it with a total different way. And I know that Armand's evolved, but I think, based on what he's saying, it gives me a lot of confidence in what he'll be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, let's wait and see. I mean, I can tell you he's looking unbelievable. This is the best he's ever looked. So you're not going to hear me make any excuses if something doesn't happen to go our way, which I believe it will go our way. But just in case, hey, we gave it our best with all three guys, not just him. All three guys were physically healthy. As today was the last sparring day was today, and they look fantastic. So let's see what happens. But I'm expecting three wins on January 18th in Los Angeles at the Clipper Stadium. I expect that, and it's going to happen. I believe in these guys, and they put in the hard work, and we'll see what's going to happen. But I believe that we're going to have two UFC champions with Abdulmanap's gym, and then of course with AKA involved because I'm AKA. So it's all combined. We're one and the same. For me, it's Abdulmanap is AKA, AKA is Abdulmanap. We're all the same gym. Just like Greg Jackson with TriStar, it's the same thing.
Yeah, how's everything going back at AKA? How's your son and the rest of the guys running the gym? You get some good upcomers from there. They're building them from ground up.
Yeah, the building from ground up is going great. My son is doing fantastic. Ron Kessler, the head coach, is doing great. He's a great guy. He was part of the team way back in the day, and now he's running the team, and it's going fantastic. And Cain Velasquez drops by here and there to add his own 2 cents when he needs to. But mostly he's there at night, training fighters at night. Cain goes in, devotes time to the guys at night, but not as much during the day. But Cain's there too.
That's pretty nice. So is Gilbert Melendez's new thing that he's doing with Scott helping out, like being able to get guys fighters on the quick a lot better now? Something local?
No, not really. We haven't been too much on their show. We know just things don't work out for whatever reason, but they have plenty of fights. The fighters there can get fights everywhere. It's not necessarily Gilbert's show that they can get on. They can get on other shows, but that's a spectacular show, by the way. I was there at the last one. It was an unbelievable show. Great show. Great show.
A lot of good cronies from the past, people that you came up in the fight game with, have been on the
Yeah,
ride.
yeah,
I saw
yeah.
I saw the pictures. So I was also going to bring up some other stuff like that. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Excuse me. So how do you think Habib will be reacting on the evening of the fight? I mean, he's
He's
cornering
gonna he's gonna
everybody.
he's gonna be very nervous, very, very nervous, extremely nervous, because he's always nervous, and this is gonna be like double the pressure on him because he's got his cousin fighting for the title and Islam defending the title. He's been here with Islam. He knows how good Islam is, so he won't be as nervous, but he's gonna be a ball of just nerves with Umar. I know it. He's gonna be really, really nervous. And I'm gonna just laugh because I'm gonna be calm as ever because I got it dialed in. I'm it's not gonna, God willed what's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen. And I'm believing that it's gonna happen our way, but it's God's will. That's what's gonna happen. We're just gonna do our best to do our best, and that's it. So Habib will do his part, I'll do my part, the fighters will do their part, and then the rest is in basically what's meant to be. But I believe it's gonna be 3 wins.
Will you be watching this Mackenzie Dern fight this weekend?
I'm not sure, but she's fun as heck to watch. She's a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun to watch. That girl's a warrior, man. She win or lose, she's not that she's like Nate Diaz, but you kind of root for her because she's such a warrior, man. I really love watching her fight and perform. She's awesome. She's awesome. She's a must watch TV, I think.
Another one is Aaron Pico's free agency. What do you think about him entering the UFC?
He's a free agent.
Yeah.
That's the champ right there. That guy, he's gonna have something to say about let's yeah. He's that guy. He's got a lot going for him. He's a great competitor. Him and Topora, I can see that somewhere down the line being an unbelievable fight. Yeah, I didn't know he was a free agent. If he's a free agent, yeah, Aaron Pico, man, he was been groomed since he was a teenager to be in this spot, and here he is. And I'm very happy for him.
They did rush him a little bit in the beginning. He get his first win, they're like, oh, it's all going to go like this.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is Fate Order Part
yeah,
3.
yeah. I mean, you can't. Doesn't matter how great you are, you got to take your time. You got to work the right fights. It doesn't matter if you're the greatest. You can't just go up that quick. It just can't. It's just very difficult. But whatever, he is where he is. He's in a good position now, and the guy's unbelievably fun to watch. And if he is going to enter the UFC, great to watch him. But if he's not going to enter the UFC, then yeah, it's still great to watch him in Bellator. It doesn't matter. He's just a great fighter to watch.
It was interesting. It was what Islam also brought up was that he felt Chandler kind of skipped the line because he's gone 2-4 in the UFC since he came on. Like, and I mean, I don't know. Well, we've seen where Strikeforce walked in and took the belts, and they were your guys.
Yeah,
So kind
yeah.
of hard to calibrate that, right?
Well, this is the thing. Okay, you say skip the line. Okay, if on a legit, sport, legit sport, yes, he skipped the line. But in an entertainment sport, he didn't skip nothing. His mouth got him there, just like Chael Sonnen. His mouth got him in those positions. So he could fight, but his mouth got him there. He's a great marketing genius for himself, and he talked himself into those fights, and that's why he's there. So my impression of what happened here is he deserved to be there because he put himself there by what he did with the mic.
Now, what do you think about McGregor versus Logan Paul for 250 million each? His team's worried it might hurt his MMA brand. I think that's kind of already got a hell of a dent in it. I mean, I'd just grab the money. What do you think?
Well, first of all, let's see if the fight was to happen. Second of all, how's it going to hurt his MMA brand? He's not an MMA brand. He's a brand, period. He's
Right.
not just, he's a brand. That's it. So how's it going to hurt his brand? He's already a brand. What he's done already, what he screwed himself on, what he got caught for, what he got the civil suit against him. So he's still Conor McGregor, no matter which way you look at it. How you hate him or love him, he's a brand. So it's not his MMA brand. He's never been an MMA brand. He's been more of a brand, period. I mean, look at the numbers that guy's done. I don't care for him, but you can't deny what he's done. And just because I don't care for him doesn't mean I'm going to deny how great he is, and how much people love that guy, and how much people hate him. So I happen to be not the one that hate him, but I happen to be one that don't particularly care for him. But you can't deny what he can do. He's a brand and he's a star.
Also, in other news, the PFL I saw this article, just came across my phone. Didn't read too far into it. They go, and the final nail in the coffin regarding the PFL, they've just lowered the $1 million prizes they've been giving away down to 500,000. Not a good sign.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's horrible.
Not
That's
good.
horrible. No, it's going to make all the fighters not even want to go with them no more. All the young up and coming guys. That was a big grabber, but I don't know if that's true. But if it's true, it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
They need, in my opinion, they just need to do what everybody else is doing. Just pay according to the champions, pay the champions, pay them to defend the titles, in my opinion. But hey, they know what they're doing in their organization. I don't know. I'm not in their organization, so who am I to tell them what to do? But I can say that it does hurt their brand if you are lowering the price. It does hurt. It does hurt. Just like if you got something that's hot on the market and everybody's buying, all of a sudden no one's buying, and you make it 50% off because people want to buy, but that's still the fact that it's 50% off, people are still looking at that they're buying something cheaper now, even though they're not, still the same. But it's hard when you do that. So, and it's hard for fighters to get motivated when they used to get 1 million, now they're getting 500,000. If you're correct, that's
Yeah.
that's not a good sign. It's not a good
That's
sign.
just something I read. If I'm proven wrong later, but I try to read stuff and double check it. Not that I'm any more, have any more horsepower than anyone else with Google or whatever
So
else.
so what you're saying, it may not be true. So
I don't know. I think it's a good chance. We'll find out. But I also wanted to bring up something else now that we're on the subject. I was reading about you in the GFL, Global Fight League, where a lot of ex-fighters are coming together. They want to have you as a coach or something, or team leader. How does that work?
yeah, I signed on board to be the head coach for the team. I don't know what team they're gonna give me, but there's 6 teams. There's gonna be 120 fighters drafted into the mix. And out of the 120 fighters, they're gonna give each one of us coaches 20 fighters, and they're gonna be a shared incentive like the NFL, the NH, I mean the hockey and NBA. They're going to do that kind of shared type profit. 50% for fighters, and 50% for the company. So it's going to be one of those kind of formats, and retirement, for the fighters, et cetera, et cetera. They have a lot of great concepts, and let's see how they're going. They're going to have the draft in April, I believe. I don't know all the particulars, so nobody that's listening out there grant me as, oh, I'm saying it, so it must be so, because I'm not 100% sure on anything just yet. I'm going to be able to speak to the owner the next day or so, and then I, be able to find out more exact what's going on and where I'm going to have my team. But the only thing I can confirm is I am 100% the head coach for one of the teams, and Cain Velasquez is the manager on my team, so he's going to be with me. So that's guaranteed for sure. But other than that, nothing else is guaranteed. As far as when their first show is, I saw on the Ariel Hawani show that it was scheduled to go in April. I don't know if that's true or not. It may be true because Ariel usually gets the first to
He
know
gets
on
the
most
scoop.
things. Yeah, he gets the scoop usually. So it may be everything Ariel's saying. So if you want to know more, probably Ariel Hawani would be the probably better one because he's speaking to these guys directly. I know he's speaking to the owner. And also I know Kevin Lee was on there and Cain Velasquez was on there speaking. So they have more information than me, other than the fact that I am the head coach for one of the teams.
Well, they should come on our podcast. They'll get some exposure. There's a lot of people that are former champions from the UFC on there. People like Arlovsky, or Verdum, Frank Mir, Junior Dos Santos,
Luke
um,
Rockhold, Luke
Luke
Rockhold,
Rockhold, Tanner
Tyrone
Bozier,
Woodley, Tyrone Woodley,
Rafael
Abu
Thiago
Bakar,
Santos,
Abu Bakar, yeah, Thiago Santos. There's so many. I believe they have over 800 people they're
Underlay.
choosing. Over 800 people they're choosing from the draft, I believe. So there's 800 people that could be chosen into the draft. Out of those 800, it's like the combine, the NBA combine, right? You have all these players that they played and they're waiting to see if they get drafted. And this is what's going on here. They're gonna. I believe that is what's gonna happen. They're gonna pick down the 120, and then they're gonna probably, I would assume they're gonna tell us which one of the fighters we get or which ones we would like to see if they can work it out. It's not as simple as that because we're talking contracts, we're talking locations, we're talking so many variables. So I do know this: it's going to be 120 people and 20 people, 20 fighters per team. I don't know how many is going to be women, how many is going to be men, but I'm assuming it's going to be 7 weight divisions for men and 3 for women, or 8. They have 8 weight divisions for men and 2 for women. I don't know exactly which one of it's going to be, but I would think it's going to be probably one of those, but I'm not 100% sure. I just know that we are signed, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I don't know yet, but it looks very promising. They have a new concept, and they have a lot of internet type pull, and they have a lot of good connections. They have a very wealthy businessman behind them, so they have power behind them. So let's see what they can accomplish. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. All I know is I'm excited to be part of the team, and I'm excited to see where we're going to go with this. And then let's see what happens. Let's see what doors they can open up.
It is interesting. It made me think sort of the IFL, but that wasn't run like this. And also the difference between those two situations is the power of social media now is exponential. And you have a lot of former super high reaching social media former champs that have a hell of a digital footprint
Yeah,
involved
yeah.
that
Yeah.
didn't exist before.
Well, yeah,
You
you
know?
got to understand that, and then now you got to understand this too. I mean, in the draft, right? If they do it the way they do it in the NBA, right? And then the NFL, right? It's like you show the video, you show these guys waiting. These guys are okay. For my number 3rd pick, I take so and so. For my 4th pick, I take. So if they're going to do it that way, there's going to be a lot of interest. So you get the people engaged. You get them going. Oh, he's going to be on my favorite team. Oh, pick him, pick him. Let's see who he's going to pick number 5. Oh, who's going to be the 6th? I mean, that's what I think is going to happen if they do it the way I think they are. I think they're going to do something like that. I think, and I'm not. Don't basically say it is because I don't know, but I would think that's pretty cool because look at the NFL and the NBA. It causes a lot of TV coverage when they do that.
I looked at it, and what it made me think about is I was happy for you because I go, you're damn right. Javier should be part of the package. I mean, you are part of the package in the UFC, but you're kind of like your own self. You're not on a contract with the UFC. You're a contract with the fighters. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't even have a contract with the fighters. It's just a verbal. No, 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 no. trainer that I know of has contracts with fighters in MMA anyways. It's just verbal, and maybe there is some that do, but I don't know of any, and I'm never going to ask for a contract. So, so I'm staying the way I am. But I don't think there is any contracts for coaches and fighters. I don't think so. I think it's just an agreement between the fighter or the management and the coach.
But in this organization, I mean, in football, coaches matter. Coaches get fat salaries. I have friends that coach, one friend that coached in the NFL. Even when he was not working, when he was not hired, he was getting 500,000 of like NFL unemployment in between a year or two before he found another team, and he was only coaching on special teams.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They make big money. They make big money. We're not in that situation, but
that would
I don't
be
know.
nice. I'm just like, come
Of
on.
course, but it's like MMA, boxing, and we're really, as coaches, really don't get the respect. They really don't. So it is what it is. You can't bitch about it. If you don't like it, then don't be in it. Or if you don't like it, do something to change it, to make yourself stand out more than, but that's just the way it is. So, and I'm in not complaining. So since I'm not complaining, I'm not gonna do nothing about it. I'm just gonna keep coaching and do what I love to do.
You're gonna be part of the action. It's what you love to do. It's like it is what it is. I mean, I like it. It's something that's up your alley, and how could you not love this idea?
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what it is. And I
Yeah.
guess on a final note, Jake Shields got demonetized and canceled on X. Now, I know Jake Shields, and you know Jake Shields.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And he started a podcast, and it's not really MMA as much as it is politics and, free speech absolutist. That's kind of his thing. So it's kind of interesting because, Twitter said, well, we'll never cancel anybody. We're freedom of speech again. But I think he was going against Elon on a few things. So it's hard to say.
Well, there you go. Freedom of speech. There you go, Mr. America. Here we go.
Right.
Well, yeah, they know they shouldn't have been. They should, that's just not right. That's not what America's supposed to be about. I mean, if they cancel for whatever reason like that, I mean, unless he's, I don't know the situation, but from what you're saying, it
On a
doesn't sound like
surface level, I'm giving you surface details. I'm not
yeah.
diving too deep.
Doesn't sound that it's correct to be able to do that to him. If they happened to Elon Musk, and then that happened to our president, that when Twitter did that to him, that was bullshit. So I don't know. I don't know this situation, but if it's the same as that, that's then double hypocrite bullshit. Then, because you just did what they did to you guys, so you're no different. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but if it
Right.
did, then if it did, then I'm saying double bullshit hypocrites.
Yeah, that's potentially what it could be. But I mean, he's got a strong podcast. He's going at it. He's saying what he thinks, and props to him for what he's doing. He's definitely after it, taking on some controversial stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying stuff that you and I are wandering off into the weeds with, and I'm like, okay. But I think what he's figured out, instead of like being another MMA analyst per se, is that he can go. He had almost 1 million followers on Twitter. I didn't know that until I looked it up. From all his contra fighting against all these different narratives that a lot of people disagreed with prior to the election. So it's pretty amazing.
Good for him.
Happen. Yeah, good for him. Yep. Well, hopefully that works out and everybody says, you know what, that's okay. And one other thing is supposedly Dana is getting hired by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I read I didn't read it, but I just saw a really short glimpse that he's put on the board of directors of one of his companies or something, or they're working together on something. Yeah, in Meta. Yeah.
Facebook.
Hey, you know what? It's like, come on, Dana's the biggest of the big in the world, so no surprise there. And good for Dana. He does what he needs to do and to improve the brand, and he's all about it. He knows how to build a brand, and he's done a fantastic job with it, and he will continue to do a fantastic job with it. So yeah, good for him.
I mean, it makes me feel comfortable seeing, some people might find, Dana a bit brash or abrasive, but in some of the things he does, but I like that he does it. And I like that he's about let people say what they got to say. And I think if there's any influence of that, they say that Facebook is going to stop, or Meta is going to stop. They're going the opposite way of they were with the over fact checking bullshit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they're going to go the other direction. We're going to open it up again, but till we see another Jake Shields or somebody get canceled, then we'll know that's the litmus test of any of these total free speech machines.
Right, right, right.
I mean, we mind our P's and Q's on this show for sure. I mean, we don't pull that card. But there's people
Well,
that make a
hey,
great living.
we've been demonetized 2 times too here, so
I
you
know,
know.
but we didn't say anything that was so
Yeah,
bad.
but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you're innocent, sometimes you're guilty, and you get it, and then it takes you months to figure out why. So in Jake's defense, he could be in the same scenario. He could be not guilty, and then he's getting in trouble for shit he didn't do. So it's really hard to really grasp unless you're in it and 100% the details on both sides.
Yeah, it's an endless conspiracy theory that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
But oh well, it's entertaining to say the least. Well,
Yeah,
have
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
You get another podcast coming up. Thanks for coming on, Javier. I'll
Yep.
be putting this out tomorrow. And it
Okay.
was a good podcast. Any last words or anything you want to plug?
No, Gorilla Energy is in California. They're approved in California, so we'll be able to get Gorilla Energy. And I'm told mango is the best. Gorilla Energy mango drinks is the best.
We're gonna get some cans to drink on the show. That's all we need.
Yeah, I
We'll
got
do
the
it.
shirt.
Okay.
Gorilla
There you
shirt.
go. And the shirt. We just wear it on the thing. Is that a gorilla shirt?
Yes, Gorilla shirt.
Okay. Well, you did your branding today.
I did my
Thanks.
branding today.
Thanks
All
for
right.
watching, everybody. And we'll see you. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the show. More to come.